Hey there YouTube, what I want to share with you today is how I built this wood privacy fence at my house. I'm pretty proud of it. It's pretty rock solid and sturdy. It looks nice from the road. I'd like to apologize for my American flag in the background being a little tattered at the moment. We had a pretty good windstorm the other day and it got hung up. I've got to replace that in the next day or so. So this whole fence was built with treated lumber, most of it from Lowe's or Home Depot. I've got a really heavy duty rot board along the bottom. It's treated 2x10. That thing isn't going anywhere for a long time. The posts, and the majority of the posts are 4x4. The post for my gate is a 4x6, and I'll show you a little bit more about that here in a second. I had to step down the gate right by the garage just a little bit so that it didn't hit the eave of the house. If you notice on top of my posts, I drilled holes down in my 4x4 posts big enough for these solar lights. They're usually used for yard or garden lights, but they work great to accent the top of the fence and to eliminate the walkways at night. I found that they work really well. I just had to seal those holes so that water doesn't get down in there and rot the posts from the inside. Here's my small gate. It swings very freely. Works with no problems at all. It's perfectly level. Made sure my posts were nice and level when I set them in the ground. As I did these cap boards. I came back with I split wood fence boards in half with my table saw, and then used a fence board to cap each one. The gate and the top of the fence is done the same way. If you look at the back side of this gate, I used a Easy Gate kit from Home Depot. Helps make sure your gate's perfectly square every time. I know I could have framed it up out of wood without the steel, but that steel just helps ensure rigidity and a perfectly square gate the easy way. Moving along, we'll take a closer look at the back side of this fence. So I spaced my 4x4s. I forget the exact distance, but it was less than 6 feet, I believe. I think closer to 5 feet in intervals in between. I've got 2x4s. You don't have to do it this way, but I found that making these blocks and putting them straight into the 4x4 post, just to set these on to get a nice square and just a little extra support there, worked really well for me. I did that on all of them. I did use my nail gun briefly just to tack up the blocks that I was going to be setting the 2x4 lateral supports onto, just to tack them up there, but just probably one nail in each one, maybe two. Everything other than that is the high quality deck screws, the powder coated deck screws that are made for outdoor to last for years. Okay, this is the way that I decided to make my gate. I thought about it a lot. I thought about doing different types of hinges, heavy duty steel hinges. I thought about different types of posts. Basically, I had to build a pony wall here off the side of the house that stands independently on the brick. This base 2x4 here, I sunk in with concrete anchors. It's got 4 concrete bolts, just in that just over 1 foot span. Then it's got concrete bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the wall as well. I mean, that thing is rock solid. It doesn't move really at all. Now the problem with this gate, the hardware store, when I went to go get my lumber, they did not have 6x6 posts, which is what I asked for in the length that I needed, because I also wanted it to stick up tall and double as a flagpole. So I had to go with a 4x6 at the time. I kind of regret it. It tends to lean a little bit when the gate is extended towards the 4-inch side. That's where this wheel comes in. I got this wheel from Northern Tool, and it works really well. It's spring loaded, so it adjusts to different pressure. It's a pneumatic tire. It's a little bit low right now. We just had a cold front come through, so I need to put a little bit of air in it. But I'll show you how it works. Just open this. The wheel rolls. My driveway slopes down, so it rolls until it's off the ground there, and that spring catches back in. When I go to close it, it picks back up on the pavement. So there you have it. I have a little wood stick that I normally, if I'm going to leave it open, it's pretty level. It just doesn't quite want to stay all the way, so I'll leave a little brace stick up there if I want to leave it open for a while. When I go to close it, that wheel engages. I'll back it up so you can see. Okay, so there's our wheel. It's kind of flat right now. It just picks up the slack. I didn't have to pick up on the gate or give it any support. That wheel takes any of the extra slack and keeps that post from leaning or having any bowing to it. So that worked. Now this particular gate that I used for the frame, it's a galvanized 10-foot cattle gate from Tractor Supply Company. I just used the hinges that come with it. They stuck through my 4-inch post just slightly, but they clamped down to the gate. I made sure I had them measured perfectly evenly off of that 4x6 so that they were in line and the gate would swing pretty level. And then what I did is I used self-tapping metal screws, also from Home Depot, and I just went along where the metal is, and I did these boards straight in the metal. I just did them at the tops and the bottoms. They haven't been warping bad, but if they had a problem or something, I could go back in. I think like this one board bowed a little bit, so I stuck another metal screw in there just to suck it up and make it look nice. I've got this one board that sticks out in front of the others just because they didn't all line up, and there's a trim piece on the front of that gate that sticks out, so I couldn't like split a board and make a half-width board go in there. I had to just kick it out a little bit. So this is the stain and sealer that I used. It's Behr Premium waterproof wood finish, and it is rated for 4 years on decks and 6 years on fences and siding. It's redwood color. It's not the cheapest one out there, but it worked and did the job really well. It looks like it's going to last. We'll see how many years it lasts before I need to reapply. Alright, these are the solar lights that I used as the fence toppers. I got them on sale for like Memorial Day or something like that, or at Home Depot. They come in 6-packs, and they ended up being like $12 for 6 of them, which is a really good deal. Include the batteries.